all life started in Africa.
Yep.
Let's point that out again as a clear thing. So, look, I'm more pointing at the fact that.
But think about talk me through the George Floyd incident.
So essentially, George Floyd was murdered, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was essentially taken. Police grabbed hold of him, and one particular police
because he had a fake bill.
Because he had a fake
$20
bill. And firstly, how do you control that? I doubt that. Not that I know anything about George Floyd enough about his history and what he's involved in or what his community is involved in. But how there are so many fake bills floating around out there. So much so that when you present someone with a $50 bill in the U.S. or a $100 bill, they check it. Right?
Even if he knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah.
There are rules.
It does not justify that kind of
treatment.
Yeah. You should excessive force, essentially. That's one thing that I have. One of the biggest issuise I have with
it's not just from a random person.
Completely. Yeah.
It's from the dude who's supposed to be enforcing the law. That's where
I feel that there was a divide in my head, right?
What was the divide?
I've never been one of these people who felt like the police need to be defunded. I've always believed in reform and that kind of stuff. I do believe that police play a very important role in society in terms of protecting us and being there for us as a
human being.
It's good I feel good knowing that there are police stations around my neighborhood. Sure. I feel safer knowing that police are there to protect us. But then when you see these kinds of incidents where violence is occurring from a group of people who are supposed to be protecting you, more importantly, the taxes we pay in this country or in those countries, in those countries, how would you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like they're public servants, and it's
Tell us more about the George Floyd, the actual incident.
So essentially, they felt the need to pin him to the ground firstly, and it wasn't just one cop. I believe it was 5 cops in total, something along those lines. And one of the cops decided to restrain him by putting his knee in his neck.
After he had handcuffed his hands behind his back, so he had no way of using his hands to leverage his face from being crushed against the road.
Yep. And he wasn't a threat at all. And more importantly, there was multiple policemen, right? Multiple. So even if you're just 2 policemen and there's one dude, George Floyd, God rest his soul, was a big guy, of course, and I can see how you might be threatened. But he wasn't a threat.
He's the reason why he wasn't a threat, because the other 3 or 4 police officers were not even on him.
No.
As in, they restrained him. After that, they just stood aside,
right?
Because he was restrained. He was on the ground. He could not really move that well, and he wasn't planning on fighting you guys. Fighting the police. The footage that most of us see or saw, which I only saw 5 seconds of because I could not.
No.
I saw the photo and I was like, that's enough for me. Like, I'm not gonna watch a man get murdered because it will just, the rage within me will be a little bit too much. And the person,
even the photo, dude.
The photo was
literally made me want to go out there and sock a white dude in the face.
I wanted that dude. So bad.
That particular person, I get it. But then we'll talk about why I felt that way and you felt that way.
A 17-year-old girl was the one who was recording this. Why should a 17-year-old girl be subjected to that? She was helpless. People around the vicinity were helpless. They were all begging the police officers, please get off him. Please, we're begging you, get off him.
For 8 minutes and 46 seconds. 8 minutes and 46 seconds, sir.
He obviously knew what he was doing, 1, and then 2, they knew each other.
That's the most disturbing part.
So George Floyd and this police officer, I don't even know his name, I don't care.
Yeah.
I do know his name, but I can't remember.
I honestly don't want to.
So George Floyd and this police officer used to work at a nightclub, security, right? And I don't think they got along.
No, George Floyd called him out several times.
There you go.
On excessive force.
Against patrons.
Yes.
Customers,
So
I wonder who the good guy is here.
Right.
Like George Floyd, he was like, dude, don't treat people like that.
Yes, exactly.
That's what he's saying.
Unnecessary.
It's
right.
And so that guy held a grudge against George for a long time. And then imagine this, when he was called that there was a black man, blah blah, he would probably be like, yeah, cool, we got this guy. And then he would see George Floyd, and his eyes would have lit up. I know
Here's my opportunity.
He is my. I fucking hated you for a long time, and now this is my opportunity. And as he puts his knee on George would have known, oh shit, this dude is gonna try and kill me.
Yeah.
He would have known. Oh shit. And then as time went by and no one was helping him, including the other police officers, he was like, okay, this is how my life ends.
Dude,
this is
imagine
how it
being
ends.
in that scenario.
This is how it
Imagine
ends.
knowing that's how you're gonna die. Like, you know?
You count down.
It's the saddest thing. I mean, he's calling out for his mom.
Like, dude.
That's like a visceral, like, that's a thing that
a grown man doesn't call for his mum.
Unless he's in
Unless.
Really. And all he knows he's gonna die.
That's
when you know.
It's a wrap.
You know? I need to see my mom, like...
His mum had died, by the way, already. Yeah, I'm pretty sure his mum had died already. So it's like calling for a dead person.
Imagine that. Dude. Right?
That's next level of evil.
It's like excessive force in general. Just like, you know, putting handcuffs on someone in a rough manner, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I hate all of those methods of, you know, violence against people.
It's your job to stay calm.
But there's excessive force, and then there's this. You know.
Excessive force is maybe slamming someone into a wall.
Shooting off a gun because you're just an idiot and you're incapable, you know, processing things as an adult and as a professional law enforcement officer. You know, shooting someone just thinking that that's a good idea. Already, I think that that's like, I can't see it and I'm not going to justify it, but I can see why you think, oh, I can connect maybe, all right, I feel threatened, so I'm gonna, you know, pull out a gun. Even that.
In what way?
Like some people.
I hear that's this.
Some people just don't have the. I just believe these people are pussies. They don't have the constitution. They don't have the ability to just, you know, be strong enough within themselves to say, I'm capable of handling this situation.
But not just that. They've been given the green light to do
They
these
have
things.
been.
That's the thing. So
but
if this dude didn't have the green light to do what he did, there is no way that he'd be so comfortable
100%.
with his hands in his fucking pocket, just chilling on some dude's neck. You know that from above.
Yeah.
They're cool with you. They'll get you off. It's all good.
Well, I hope it's not the scenario.
I'm not in this case, but he knows that in previous cases,
for sure,
they have had the green light to do that.
But I would say that there is a difference. This is the point I was trying to get at. It's not something that I understand, but I will listen to that argument if there is any justification for using a weapon, right? I will listen to the argument. This is not something you can listen to. This is not something you can process. This is not something that you can justify. You can't apply any
from the beginning to the end. It was
bad.
It was horrendous.
From the get-go.
Horrendous.
And then for you to kneel on someone's neck for 8 minutes, 46 seconds, that's already a really, really long time. Like, that's just so long. Like, I can't even, I'm getting emotional right now.
Knowing that no one can do anything about it.
Nothing.
And you're like, yeah.
There's no way, in any way, this can be justified. You can't even make up a story. You know? You can't even make up a story.
Here's the thing, if there were no cameras...
Shooting off a gun, you can make up a story about that. This is not something you can make up a story about.
If there weren't any cameras there...
Yeah.
Think about, this wouldn't have even been uttered.
100%.
Nothing would have been said, and it'd be like, oh, well, he resisted arrest. And what's anyone else going to say? The police have said he's resisted arrest, so you believe the police.
Yeah, of course you do.
Well, apparently you can't.
Yeah.
So think about all those other ones that have happened this way. Like 2 weeks after that, there was a man who got shot, Rayshard Brooks.
That's right.
At Wendy's. So
That
he's in the car park at Wendy's I'm in the car park, sorry, in the drive-through, and he's fallen asleep.
Yeah.
For what? Who knows what's going on with him? Drunk, drugs, whatever it might be.
Matter.
I know. But let's say whatever. But he's asleep. They call the police on him. I think people are saying that he's blocking the road, which is fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay.
They don't want to approach him, so they call the cops. The cops come out. They pull him to a side. They do all kinds of tests with him, to find out if he's drunk. He's jovial with the cops.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Yeah.
He actually says at some point, he says, "You can drive." He goes, "You can drive me home if you want."
Yeah.
He says that. "You can drive me home if you want." It's all good, and then all of a sudden,
Cops on him.
the cops are on him. He's like, "What?" He's resisting. 2 cops are on him. He pulls the cop's taser whilst the cop is on him, and kind of turns the cop around.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have done that.
No, but
I'm getting that.
Okay.
He shouldn't have done that.
Right.
He pulls the taser. That doesn't mean he dies.
No.
So he gets up and he runs away. And as he's running away, he shoots the taser, but
just like
he didn't.
it was an
He didn't turn and stop and point at him. He just shot it.
Yeah.
Again, he shouldn't have done that. But do you know what the cop did? The cop that he took the taser off, he was behind. The other one still's got his taser and his gun. He pulls his taser out and he goes, "Nah."
Yeah, this is not
I think he might have shot it and missed. He goes, "Nah," and he pulls his gun and shoots him 3 times in the back. You shot a man in the back.
That's what you do.
First of all, you have his details, you have his car. Let him go.
Yeah.
You know exactly where he lives.
Yeah.
If he's got a car, you know that it's registered in his name. It's his car.
Yeah.
So he's gonna come back for the car. You know where he lives. All that jazz. Why do you have to shoot the man in the back?
Tell the man to move his car, park it over there, and then go home. That's how that whole scenario should have wrapped up.
End of story.
That should have been exactly how that whole.
Oh, you passed all the tests? Cool. All right, cool.
Even if you
Go
were
home.
drunk, bro, he did the right thing by stopping his car and not driving.
He did the right
It's
thing.
not like he was they caught him driving drunk. He was sleeping in his car, sleeping it off.
But
That's
he
what
was
they
in
tell you.
the driver, which was the problem.
I get that,
Yeah.
but then again, I've heard that argument here in Australia too, where people are busted for drink driving just because they're
didn't kill him.
they're sleeping in their car. That's
Kill
it.
him.
You're sleeping in your car. You pulled over your vehicle. If you're drunk in your own vehicle and you're not actually moving, the vehicle's not on and you're not moving, that just should never justify.
Again, like I said, they've got from above.
Yeah.
They've been given that
Of course, the green light.
free. Go
Big
for
time.
it. Do what you want, and we'll deal with it later.
You know what? And
That
I cannot. I cannot, because people can say, you shouldn't have taken a taser, you shouldn't have reacted badly.
oh, that's
I have a fear of police.
yeah. He knows that.
He knows that potentially once the cops are on him, after everything that's just recently happened,
He might not make it
doesn't
out.
matter.
He doesn't know. He
be
might
dead.
not be not. I'm sorry.
He might be dead.
Absolutely.
This whole scenario will
correct.
end. And what happened? He died.
He
Right? Isn't that so? He reacted that way out of fear of potentially being
shouldn't be afraid of the
harassed and being
Imagine
killed. But yeah, imagine that.
So that police officer is facing they're not fucking around with this one.
Good.
He's facing either death penalty or life in prison. He's actually screwed.
Yeah.
This dude's actually fucked. The George Floyd one, they initially said 3rd-degree murder. I was like, hold on, excuse me.
Here we
And
go.
then they realized that he knew him. We'll bring it down to 2. 2nd-degree murder. What do you mean 2nd-degree murder? It still needs to be 1st. He intentionally killed a man. He knew what he was doing.
Third degree murder is.
They brought it to
They don't
2nd
even.
degree.
Who uses that? They don't even use that.
It's similar to manslaughter. It's like, oops.
It's exactly the oops.
The oops.
It's an oops crime.
What are you, fucking Britney Spears?
Yeah,
Oops, I did it. Oops, I did it again. And he probably has done it before.
Oh my God.
He's done
Who knows
before.
how? But who knows how many? That's the scary part. Who knows how many people have been killed by police?
We'll go even last week. I think her name was Breonna Taylor.
Breonna